TW,
All
welcome
right,
to the show.
man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good to see you, brother.
Likewise, good to be seen.
We've done a few things, over the years. It's been a minute since I had a chance to see you, but thanks for coming out today. Beautiful little evening here in sort of the wide open as we do it on Viewphonic. Let me just get into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get started? We know you're a phenomenal keyboardist. You've been an MD for the Debarge family, Chico to be exact, and we had a chance to do some stuff with them. But tell us where you got started in the game and where you from originally and so forth.
Okay. Originally, I was born in California.
Okay.
And predominantly all my youth to about high school, I graduated in Highland, the city of Highland.
Okay.
Shout out to my principal, Miss Margaret Hill. She is a board member, very influential on the Board of Education, Miss Margaret Hill.
Okay. Okay.
At that time, they had a music program. That was in the high school years. But right back to when I started in the church. Was listening to a lot of different stuff. My parents took me to church, and I began to investigate different things, and it started coming together in the church in the early years.
Wonderful. So you sort of segue back and forth from doing R&B, jazz to a little gospel, right?
Yeah, I did as a kid. I just liked whatever came on the radio, and when I found out those times we had cassette tapes.
Okay.
I could put the cassette tape in before school, and I could hit record. And I can go to school, come back, and I see what kind of new stuff that I had that I could, I really felt like I was really achieving some things in that department, not even as a kid. I could play Herbie Hancock or Oscar Peterson or Miles Davis or whatever it was going on. Even some of the hip hop back then, and it got me prepped for what I was going to do.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, if you were to choose one particular genre, what would you choose? What would be like at the forefront? Your jazz, your R&B, the church, the gospel stuff.
Right.
Anything? Could you put one thing in front of the other?
Like you mean as far as just playing one?
If you had to do one style of music, what would it be?
One style of music. I would have to say it would have to be the sacred music.
Okay.
Sacred music, gospel.
Well, praise God.
Because I think in that it encompasses everything that you need. Now like nowadays some of the soft rock or soft contemporary Christian music,
like Hillsong or something like that.
Things of that. There's many good. There's a lot of good clean music out there. But I believe it's the message and what it conveys.
Okay. Okay. What do you think of the situation that happened a few years back with Israel Houghton? Of course, he was the, he was the MD and doing the music, in Houston with the big ministry there, and then all of a sudden he wasn't there. I mean, can you comment on that a little bit?
Is that you say, Brother Israel?
Yeah.
Well,
he was doing Joel Osteen, and then he wasn't.
Right. No, I really can't. I can comment from a perspective of being a musician and being affiliated with ministries, small and great and in between. I believe life is full of transitions. So
okay.
That's to be expected. Just keep on transitioning, and I believe that everything will be okay.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So in other words, it's like they sort of jumped into his private life, and do you think that is the right of your employer to jump into your private life based on your position in the public?
I would say to an extent that should be expected, because especially when you're coming up talking about ministry, nowadays your ministry is gonna put you out there, so where people are gonna scrutinize you regardless if you're a pastor or if you're a harmonica player.
Okay.
But at the same token, when you're in those type of situations, such as Kirk Franklin, and there's a lot of people, myself, things happen to where a lot of times people get things misconstrued. And
right.
If you could turn the recorder off or turn off some of this stuff, I'm pretty sure we would. But hey, everybody's human, and it's humanistic for us to have some brain farts sometime.
Right, right. Okay. Brother, what are you working on these days? Anything particular? You in the studio with anyone? Are you working on a project for yourself?
Definitely. Well, I'm doing a lot of programming, as I would call it. I do have engagements I play out. I provide the music for the church, and I really enjoy, jazz books and different things like that.
Okay, so you're studying, diving into your studies.
Yes, sir.
Theory. Wonderful.
Well, theories, one can say that, but theory sounds boring.
Okay, okay.
But yeah, education. I'll say I like to be educated.
Nice.
It comes in handy.
Well, we're in the right environment for education, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There we go. Well, listen, what advice would you give for some young buck coming up that wants to get into the world of music, regardless of the genre? Maybe another keyboard player like yourself. What would you say to them as far as the steps and the best practices for success?
I'll say stick with Jesus.
Okay.
If you stick with Jesus, you will be victorious.
Wonderful.
Because of him. And I think that he makes the difference, and he makes whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. He'll assist you with those things, and then he gives us the manual, which is the Bible, that we can read to do things. But without getting spiritual, just don't let the glitz and the glamour and the the pleasantries of being a musician sidetrack you to where you make mistakes, that could take you away from the music.
Okay. So in other words, just stay grounded.
Stay grounded.
That's beautiful advice.
The education is good. If you can get off into college, do that.
Okay.
If you can do a lot of these things and you have the opportunities to do it, go for them,
Awesome. Well, brother, we appreciate your advice, your words of wisdom. We know you're doing your thing. So best of luck and blessings.
Oh, man. Right back at you. Shalom.